Good morning, all. This is Dee from Dee Dream Life. We are a dance, fitness, yoga, meditation, and life coaching institution based in Hong Kong. And I would love to be able to share with you all the different exciting experiences and also be able to give you life coaching support and advice through this YouTube channel, which we are going to do every day, hopefully aiming for weekly amazing topics and discussions and interactions with all of you. So for this to happen, I hope all of you subscribe to this channel, interact with us as much as possible on the comment section of the YouTube video, and also share the link, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with as many people who you think is going to enjoy and be motivated and inspired by my daily and weekly sharings through this YouTube channel. Now, every day, every week, we're going to talk about different topics, and it doesn't have to always be a big topic. Sometimes some of the sharings could just be little things that I've encountered with people through my life as a coach that I hope to be able to pass on to all of you. And hopefully, if you get nothing out of it, at least to feel inspired and motivated to do something towards achieving your dream life. We all want an amazing dream life, don't we? We all want to have a life full of love, full of satisfaction, self-realization, a fulfilling career, vocation, money, financial status, wealth, power, personal power, societal acceptance, community spirit, spirituality, friends, family, relationships. And have I said love again? Yes, we all do need love. So how are we going to achieve all that? How are we going to keep moving towards having that amazing life every day, a fulfilling, energizing, enthusiastic life, so that we're living the most out of it, that we are not just bogged down by problems or feeling stuck in a rut or not advancing in our lives simply because we're not sure what to do about it, and so we're wasting it away every day, living a half-hearted, mediocre life. Now we do not want that. Okay, so in this channel, hopefully by listening to my daily sharings, you're going to be able to inject and infuse a beautiful amount of energy and enthusiasm with some guidance, some great tips on how to interact and work with life so that you're gonna get the most out of it. How does that sound? I hope you're all excited. And we're gonna go through different aspects of life, be it physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and psychological, because they're all interrelated. Your life is made up of you and your body, your mind, and your psyche, and a lot of it is all very interrelated. So as we go through our journey together, do note that every little thing that you do, whether it is physically, whether how much you move versus how much you eat, what you eat, how you carry yourself, how you speak, what your thoughts are, all these things come together to finally give you that life that you are currently living. So we have to learn to be more conscious. We're going to dissect and scrutinize and analyze every single aspect of our lives, from the people we interact with, the places we go to, the books that we read, the videos and TV shows that we allow ourselves to indulge and watch, because all these things make up granular parts of you that will then accumulate and make the whole of you. So we're going to be very careful and conscious. We're going to really start to scrutinize and analyze and understand and break down everything that forms you, and then hopefully rebuild a stronger, better, and more amazing version of you. How does that sound? All right, so now why do we need to talk about these things? Because a lot of us don't realize that we need a coach. Whether you're paying somebody or listening to a free YouTube channel like this, I hope that you find that source of inspiration every day, whether it is going to church, going to a synagogue, getting scripture, having a great friend that's very supportive and encouraging, having a coach like me who's empowering, encouraging, and understanding. We all need that external boost because we are all creatures in this world that are trying to work and navigate through life, and life is never really easy. It's full of challenges, but it doesn't have to be that difficult, because as long as we're able to tap into resources that are available around us, then we're able to really manifest and bring out the best out of us and work with the elements that are given to us in life. So now today, I really want to talk about the 10 wheels, that we have. So rather, the 10 parts of a wheel, and I call this the wellness wheel, okay? So why is it so important? I think a lot of us don't take enough time to sit back and take stock of what makes up life. What are the 5 to 10 different elements and limbs? I like to call it 10, but some of you may think 5 is enough for now, okay? But I do really truly believe that every human should have these 10 elements and limbs, okay? So let's go through each one and every one of them. And today in this video, I want you to take a piece of paper and write down against each of these 10 what your score is, okay? Now, the first is, now how do you rate your score before we go on? It is the amount of satisfaction that you feel towards that part of your life right now. And you could rate it from 0 to 10. Try not to be too harsh. Try to be reasonable and objective. And at the same time, try to leave room for improvement. So there's always room for improvement for everything. So ideally, we shouldn't be at 10 out of 10 for everything, because that's just us telling ourselves that our life is exactly perfect as it is, which is often, something that we don't want to assume, because then we may become complacent and too relaxed and not want to work on anything, okay? So a 9 out of 10 would mean you're very happy and you're doing a lot for it and it's progressing really well. And a 5 out of 10 generally would mean that you are not at a painful situation with that element of your life, but you do not feel fulfilled and it's not happening like magic. And a 3 or 2 out of 10 would mean that there is actually a severe pain point in that part of your life and you're feeling it. You are actually experiencing some kind of negative impact of that area of your life on your day-to-day. And an 8 or 7 out of 10 would be something where you're feeling like everything is going really well and you've done a lot of work, but maybe recently there hasn't been a lot of inspiring new changes, which means that you're trying to maybe find that extra new element to create that spark and progress again in that area of your life. Okay, so let's start. The first element we're going to talk about is our own personal time, hobbies, personal leisure time, self-care. Now, how do you score yourself in terms of that? Are you doing enough for yourself? Do you feel like you're allocating enough time? And most importantly, do you feel like you are actually feeling good about yourself most of the time? And to answer this question, try to go back into understanding and reflecting on recently. How do you feel about yourself? Do you feel tired? Do you feel unloved? Do you feel like you never have time for yourself anymore? Especially mothers out there, I'm sure you can resonate with this. And if you're not feeling like you're giving enough time and energy for yourself in this area of self-care, self-love, leisure, hobbies, then you know what to do in terms of your scoring, okay? Now, next element, family. Okay, so How do you feel in terms of your relationship with your family? Are you feeling like you have a healthy relationship? Do you even spend enough time with your family? Who do you consider are people within your family? And how often and what kind of quality time do you have with them? Whether you live with them or you live far away from each other, these are all people that you can include as part of your family. They don't have to be blood related. Some people do not have biological parents, for example, but they may have people that they feel are like substitute parents, or even friends. Some close friends can be regarded as family members if you've known them for a long enough time and have a very close and intimate relationship. So take your time to ask yourself. You can pause the video and think about it. Score yourself from 1 to 10, hopefully not 0. Okay, and then that's right. Okay, now moving on. The third part of this wellness wheel is your career. So take your time, think about your career. If you do not work, what do you do? Well, if you do not have a job that pays, think about something that you're doing, like a volunteer work, for example, or even being a mother. Being a mother is a job. You may not be paid like a direct paycheck, but it's still a job. All right, so you can still score yourself in that respect if you're having a career and that career is actually a non-paid job. Ask yourself, how satisfied are you with this current job? How much time and energy do you invest into it? And how committed are you into it? And also, do you want to leave and change? So I'm going deeper, not just asking you to score it, but do write some notes down as well if you feel like there are some things that you would like to improve. How do you want to improve? Also ask yourself, do you think you're being recognized for the work enough? Do you feel like you're being paid enough? Do you feel like you're maximizing your potential in this current career path? Ask yourself these questions. You can always pause the video, write down your answers, and then share with me later, or write on the comment. You can always book in a one-on-one coaching session to go through all your answers as well. The fourth part of your life, the fourth limb, we're gonna talk about is friends. So, friends, social life. How many good friends do you have? Do you have different types of friends for different occasions and purposes? Do you have a friend and an inner circle type of friend who you can share very intimate details about your life and get support from? Do you also have a variety of friends that you can share different experiences and activities with? On this topic, I just like to expand a little more. I think a lot of people that I've worked with from a coaching perspective and also from experiences have often told me that, I don't like friends, for example. So if you've got someone who's got a problem with making friends, and they'll tell you that, well, I don't really like friends or making new friends anymore because I used to have friends and then they hurt me or they betrayed me, and I realized that I was investing more energy into the friendship than they were investing it back to me. And then I would ask them, well, do you realize that not every friend is meant to be your inner circle friend? Right? So this concept about having different spheres and different tiers of friends. Not every friend is meant to be the friend you call in the middle of the night when you have a problem. But at the same time, you cannot then discard them as not being a friend, because just because they're not your tier 1 closest friend doesn't mean you do not need them in your social life. So it's very important to be able to discern and distinguish the types of friends. And just because someone is not meant to be your tier 1 friend, the closest friend, doesn't mean that they're not a good friend. It just means that they're a different type of friend. A friend that you meet once a month versus a friend that you'd call every week. It's very different kind of friendship. At the same time, they're all important and vital in creating your dream life, because friends create fun, joy, happiness, support, and all these other beautiful benefits for your dream life. Okay, so take your time, pause the video if you need, and write how satisfied you are in terms of your life, in terms of how many friends do you have, and how regularly you see them, how much time you carve out for them, and how much time they have for you. And do you actually like the friends that you have? That's the next question. Do you actually enjoy the friendships that you have? Do you actually have positive friendships? Are the people you consider friends positive influences in your life? Or are they negative people who are draining you, drowning you with problems, or dragging you back and holding you down because they are not progressive and would love to hold you back as well? Think about it. Write it all out. All right, now next limb of your life, let's talk about spirituality. So why is spirituality important? Well, some people would say, we know, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in religion, and therefore this is not relevant in my life. So if you're one of those people who are an atheist, you do not believe in God, you do not associate yourself with a spiritual or religious practice, that's okay. Does not mean that you do not have this limb in your life. Listening to this talk itself is spirituality, because spirituality is anything that aims and works to boost your spirit, how you feel, and your energy and your enthusiasm and your feel good feeling. Okay, so listening to this video itself, going for motivational talks, reading a self-help book, those are also things that are categorized in that category. So write down how satisfied you are and how much energy and time that you are actually giving and receiving in terms of spirituality, whether you think your spirituality is religion, going to church, going to a synagogue, attending a yoga class and meditation to boost your inner wealth and spirit, or reading a self-help book. Okay, so write it all down, score yourself, take time to reflect. You don't have to do it all in one video as well. You could do this assessment across the week, across the month as well. All right, now next element, sixth element, we're going to talk about money. Money. Don't we all need money? And don't we all stress about money sometimes, right? So now let's grade and talk about our relationship with money. How satisfied are we in terms of the amount of money that we are drawing into our lives, the amount of money that we are spending, and the amount of money that we are saving? All right, so let's break that down and then try to score your satisfaction in terms of money in general. Okay, this is a huge topic that I would love to have more videos, subsequent videos to talk about and really discuss, because this is a very rich, contentious topic that I'm sure all of us struggle with at one point or another in our lives, whether it's our mindset and the amount that we have, the amount that we're spending, the amount we're saving, and how we feel generally about money. Okay, now next we're going to talk about power and status. So how do you feel about where you are in your life in conjunction and in relation with everyone else in society? So some of you may feel fantastic because you have a job that has a great title or prestige that would be able to supply you with that source of power. Some of you may draw your power from inner strength, knowing that you are whole, knowing that you're complete, knowing that you are powerful and able to hold on to your own personal values and beliefs. Some of you may need to draw power from your looks, from what you own. There's no judgment here. Take your time to assess and really evaluate how you feel about where exactly do you stand in terms of your power and status in this society, and what is your source of strength to be able to feel that power and status. Some of you may have really noble jobs, and that may help you as well. Being a teacher, being a coach, such as me, does give you some feeling of extra power and boost there. All right, next we are going to talk about relationships. Big topic: love, relationship, partnership. Now, for most of you, you may or may not be in a relationship, but you may have tried or have had a relationship at some point. If you're currently not in a relationship, don't automatically score it at 0. Think about it deeper. Think about where you are in terms of the potential people that you're meeting and your relationship with yourself, and how far along you are with making peace with either having a relationship or not having a relationship, and the progress that you are heading towards. If you are in a relationship, are you happy in that relationship? If you're not in a relationship, are you happy being not in a relationship? And then where do you want to go from there? So if you're in a relationship and you're unhappy with the relationship, then what do you need to do to get to where you would like to be? Whether you like to change partners, whether you like to leave your partner, or whether you like to work on that relationship to be better. Let's score that. Let's write that all down. And then if you're single, what are the steps you're taking towards wanting and working on being in a relationship, if you actually want to? And if you are single and telling yourself and agreeing that you actually do not want a relationship right now, then take time to really reflect and really dig deep and ask yourself, is that the truth? Do you really not want a relationship? Or have you given up on getting a relationship because it is too hard? Okay, write it all down. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with me, and be honest with everything you're feeling. Allow yourself to really take this time, this opportunity to dig deep and really understand yourself, because problems do not get solved if we are not aware of them. Okay? Beautiful. Next, we're going to talk about community. Community is one of those things that we normally put towards the end of the list, because it is such a wonderful thing to feel like you belong in a community, whether it's a religious group or a golfing group or a yoga community or a dance community or an art appreciation community or a drinking community. Whatever that brings you all together, that binds you all together in a community. Maybe it's your building, or maybe it's a club, maybe it's a school. Whatever it is that binds you together in that communal setting, where you feel like you all have each other to talk to help, to have fun with, to organize events, to support, to share. This YouTube channel is also community, Dee Dream Life, and having a lot of my students having each other and supporting each other, that's a community as well. So think about how connected you are with communities out there. Are you feeling like you're part of different communities, and what satisfaction that gives you? And if you're lacking in that, start to think about what are the different ways you can tap into community so that you can feel like your life is more full. All right, now next we are going to talk about our relationship with ourself. Okay, now this is something that I really want to talk about as a limb, because A lot of the time we have, so the first limb we talked about was self-care, the time, the energy that we're putting into carving out that. Now we're talking about how we actually feel about ourselves. Okay, so there's a difference there. The first limb we talked about was about how much energy and time we're devoting and dedicating to developing ourselves, whether it's learning a language, going for a manicure, reading a book alone, finding time for yourself to do something you love. Now we're talking about how do we feel about ourselves? What is our relationship with ourselves? Do we actually feel we love ourselves? Do we feel confident? Do we constantly say horrible, harsh things to ourselves? Do we think we're beautiful? Do we think we're ugly? Do we think we're fat and we are unworthy? Or do we think that we are awesome and able and competent to achieve things? So take a moment here, reflect, ask yourself, what would you score your relationship with yourself? Whether it is, I love myself, I'm so awesome, I am my favorite and best cheerleader, that would make you score a 9 out of 10. Or, I hate myself, I am so useless, I can't achieve anything, I'm not good enough, everybody's right, I am not worthy. That would score you a 1 out of 2. So anything between that, take time to reflect, ask yourself, how do you score yourself in that respect? So let's recap. So we've got the limbs that we've covered so far. This is for me to actually tick off and see what I've got left. Okay, so we've got our self-care, okay, self-care and time for ourselves. We've got our friends, we've got family, we've got relationship, partnership, we've got career, we've got power and status, we've got money, we've got spirituality, we've got community, and then we've got how do we feel about ourselves. Okay, and that also ties into the element of health, wellness, fitness. Okay, because often how we feel ourselves is heavily associated with how we are actually faring in terms of body, mind, and spirit. If you're healthy, you're more likely to feel great about yourself. If you are unhealthy, it is going to be harder for you to feel amazing about yourself. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. I'm going to keep it within 30 minutes. I want all of you to really take time, reflect on all these things, and then share with us on the comments, or booking time with me if you like to go deeper about how do we then take all these answers that you have actually answered yourself, and how do you turn that around and work on the things that need working on. So do we need to score 10 out of 10 for every one of them? Well, I'd rather you be more balanced and just no judgment. Don't punish yourself with the results. Look at your own results and ask yourself, does that mean I need to spend more time and energy on some parts of my life out of the 10 that are lagging behind the others? All right, so look at the whole wheel of 10 items and ask yourself which limb is not relatively strong right now, because that's gonna help you to direct your energy in the next 3, 6, 12 months to be able to support and beef up those areas in your life you have just identified through this evaluation as an area that requires a bit more boost, so that you have a more balanced life. Remember, balance comes from being able to draw on many elements, and they're all interrelated and they all help or hinder each other. For example, if you do not have a good career, then you may not be making the right money. If you're not having the right money, you may not be able to feel good and do all these great things for yourself. So they're all interrelated in multiple ways. So take time to understand which part of your wheel is the weak link or weak links right now, and then let's start working on it and start making resolutions and take steps and goals and resolutions of what you can do to make sure that you're going to strengthen that beautiful wellness wheel of your life, so that we can all achieve the dream life that you deserve. Okay, you all deserve a fantastic, amazing, enthusiastic, energetic, and fulfilling life. And if you're living anything less than that, do not tell yourself that this is how life is supposed to be. Work towards it and aim towards it. Namaste.